Vampires, werewolves, witches. Just a few of the extraordinary, terrifying creatures about which we all tell stories. But we now know this. They're not just stories. They're real. For the first time, we've been granted access to this secret world. Our sound recordists are following a private detective agency calling themselves The Pulse, as they try to keep the peace, track down big leads, and often put their own lives on the line. In the supernatural underworld, the blood never stops pumping. This is the battleground you never knew existed. These are the protectors you never knew you had. This is The Pulse. Night falls on the city, and the Pulse's lead investigator, Mitch Patterson, is on the hunt for a rat.
Everyone I know, my friends, my family, they all say to me, be careful, with what you do. And I say, well, I always am. You've got to be, in my line of work.
At home, Mitch tries to live a normal life, but at work, he is a protector of humankind.
So, I'm Chief Investigator for The Pulse, which is a private supernatural investigation agency. Basically, what we do is we will investigate any disturbances that are reported to us as being, or that we suspect are of, a supernatural origin. And we basically do our best to keep tabs on all kinds of supernatural activity within so far as an overall territory as we can reach. So tonight we've got word of a disturbance in one of these alleys, vandalising drain pipes and knocking down bins and so on. And someone also heard a noise like an animal growling. So I think we're dealing with more than just dumpster divers here. Right, this is the place, I think. Ah, see that? Claw marks on the wall. Aha. Yeah, this pipe's been gnawed clean through. Watch it. Okay. Don't move. Yeah, I think I know what this is. Okay, you're gonna want to stand back. So I'm just administering sedative. Whew. So what you saw there was a were-rat. Lots of them about these days, and they're becoming increasingly prevalent in urban areas, which is obviously a worry for communities. So what we'll do now is we'll take this fella back to HQ, then we can give our local creature keeper a call, and they can come in and collect him. So welcome to our humble HQ. That over there's our intel officer, Roberta Dane. Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Mitch. Sorry, can't talk. Kinda plugged in.
Roberta puts everything together, makes sure our system's all working proper. Roberta will be the one who lets us know when there's a disturbance, usually. And on the other side, this is where I work. Here's my colleague, Caroline Simpson.
Well, hello. This is the radio crew.
That's right. Why don't you say hello?
Hello, I'm Caroline Simpson. I've been working with The Pulse for 5 years. I think we have a good dynamic between colleagues. We do a bit of socialising, have a laugh and so on. But at the end of the day, we do our jobs well. And when the chips are down, we can coordinate and rely on each other to get us out of trouble.
Ha! You had that prepared, didn't you?
I'm always prepared, Mitch. For anything.
Yep, that's it. That's the pulse spirit right there. We've always got to be on our guard. So, apart from me, Caroline and Dane, there's our forensics man, Alex Dern. Keen eye for detail, Dern.
I think he's getting lunch.
And then Bernard Frayne, who I think is our most seasoned vampire hunter. And then we've got a new recruit, Ritchie, I think she was called. Comes from some secret posh school where they teach them all about demon slaying and so on. So she's here for an internship, if you will. I think they were doing a little rural inspection, weren't they?
Something like that. They left half an hour ago, I think.
Good. And that, I believe, just leaves our boss, Miles Harris. Is he around?
I think he was on the phone in his office. Oh, hang on, here he comes.
Ah, Mitch, good you're here. Do you... Oh, hello. Are you recording for the... You are. Oh, good. Hello. I'm Miles Harris. I founded The Pulse back in 2014. I'm thrilled that you're here to... Anyway, Mitch, do you know anything about some sort of hour of judgment doomsday thingy?
In what context?
Well, I just got a phone call from some raspy-voiced gentleman. He was going on about how I was messing with things I didn't understand, and how some hour of judgment or calamity was coming to get me, my colleagues, and all our families. I thought he might be trying to sell me something.
Could be a prank call. Lots of people talking about some doomsday plot or other these days. Best to make a note of the number, if they call again.
Yes, good idea. Anyway, Mitch, I have an idea to discuss with you. Caroline's heard it already.
Oh yeah, this.
What is it?
He has a new idea for a name for us.
Yes, that's right. I have a new idea for the name for our agency. Mitch, picture this.
Okay.
Abnormal.
Okay.
Supernatural.
Yes.
Regulation.
Makes sense.
Detectives.
Abnormal, supernatural, regulation, detectives.
Absurd. Abnormal, supernatural, regulation, detectives. Absurd. No?
I think it's a little...
Childish.
twee, perhaps. My only worry is it might undermine our professionalism.
Oh, come on, Mitch. It's too perfect to waste.
I'm sorry, Miles. I'm just not sold on it. And even if I were, we're The Pulse. I don't think it would do our publicity any good to rebrand.
No, I suppose you're...
Oh, I've got something.
What is it?
Possible vampire residents on the south side of town, like suspicious reports, see noise complaints past 9 p.m, which I think you'll agree is unusual in a house with boarded up windows.
Does it show up on our records?
It's registered under the name of Walter Dabrowski, but he died over a decade ago in a fatal sunlight accident.
I'll take a look.
Coming up on The Pulse, Mitch makes a sinister discovery.
We could well be dealing with blood dealers here.
And there's a surprise on the road for investigators Bernard and Ritchie.
Sir, did you see that?
See what, Ritchie?
That dragon?
Dragon? Don't know what you've been seeing, lad. But you don't get dragons in.
Mitch and colleague Alex Dern make their way to the site under suspicion in the hope of finding some answers.
What do you think we'll find there? Vampires?
Maybe. So, Dane's notified us to this house where they think there might be vampires, or at least some sort of nocturnal creature. The poor guy who lived there before is long gone, so there's no knowing what we could be dealing with. God, absurd. What was he thinking?
I don't know, Mitch. I mean, when he told me about it, I thought it was a pretty cool acronym.
It's just sometimes I think he doesn't take the job seriously, you know? Like, he's more worried about acronyms than the serious business of investigating the supernatural.
We should be on the right street now, Mitch.
Oh, good. Yep, and that looks like our abandoned house right ahead. So, we're now outside the suspect's site. Looks very old, very dilapidated. All of the windows are boarded up. No immediate sign of activity, so we're gonna take a look around. See if we can find any clues. Oh no. Come and look here.
What is it?
See this drain pipe? Look at the water leaking out of it. Look a little red to you.
Looks like blood, Mitch.
Yeah. Which means we could well be dealing with blood dealers here. So we haven't seen blood dealers in these parts for a long time, and if they're back, well, that's a bad sign. So we've got to sneak in there now and find out whatever kind of gig they've got going on. Well, there were vampires here, alright. But looks like they're gone now. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of equipment. Synthesizers, purifiers, this may be quite a significant operation.
We'd better take some photos.
The Pulse don't just operate in the city. Trouble can occur in the country too, as seasoned investigator Bernard Frayne and new recruit Naomi Ritchie are about to find out.
So we cover a couple major cities, travel destinations and so on, but also a lot of rural areas. I find that people living in rural areas can be quite vulnerable to supernatural occurrences due to their remoteness. Usually we just get reports of damage to livestock and so on, but sometimes it can be, well, a lot worse. My name's Bernard Frayne. I've been working with the Pulse since our boss Miles started it a few years ago now. But for Ritchie here, it's her first day on the job, so I'm just showing her the ropes, as it were. Right, Ritchie?
That's right, sir. Thank you, sir.
God, you're very formal, Ritchie. Why all the sir stuff?
It's what they taught me at the academy, sir. Respect and be courteous to your colleagues. Sir.
Oh, well, maybe you could tone it down a little bit? I'm not that used to being respect and be courteous too.
Okay, if you like, sir.
And that starts with dropping the sir, okay? My name's Bernard. Holy shit, what was that?
Sounded like a tyre flat.
Damn it. Better take a look. Oh wow, it's been shredded right through. You seeing this, Ritchie?
Yes, sir. Looks like a bite from a dire rat or blood weasel.
Yeah, that's right. And the former would be pretty standard, but the latter? That's a beast that shouldn't be in this part of the country. Which means we'll have to report it and then find out if there are any breeders in the area or anything like that. Meantime, if you could help me fix this, I'll grab the tools at the back.
Sir, did you see that?
See what, Ritchie?
That dragon?
Dragon? Don't know what you've been seeing, lad. But you don't get dragons in. Shit.
Back at headquarters, Bernard and Ritchie report their findings to Miles.
So let me get this straight. Some kind of dire rat or blood weasel bit through your tyre, and then you looked up and saw a dragon.
That's right, Miles. Ritchie spotted it first. A common dragon mind, so not like a guard a princess, burn a village type dragon. More like a kind of big, eagle-sized thing.
Ah, well, good job, young Ritchie. Consider it was a good move bringing you onto the team.
Thank you, sir.
Point is, these creatures aren't normally seen anywhere but the most remote bits of the country. So I think someone's breeding them illegally and one must have got out. I think we should investigate further before things get out of control.
Yes, that does sound rather calamitous. By all means, Bernard, you're on the case. Look, there's Mitch and Alex outside.
Mitch and Alex are back with news of their findings.
Mitch, Alex, good news?
I'm afraid not. The house was being used as a blood den. They're gone now, but they had a lot of equipment.
And they left it all there?
That's right. Something made them leave in a hurry. Maybe they got wind of us coming. There's no way to be sure at the moment. But it gets worse. Here's a photo I took at the scene.
That's the sigil for the House of Karn. But it can't be. They've never been seen within 100 miles of this county.
Well, it looks like they are now. And they've got to be the most powerful vampire family in the country. Which means we're all in big trouble.
Next time, Bernard and Ritchie's hunt for dragon breeders gets complicated.
I won't warn you again, sir. Drop the dragon.
And Caroline investigates a haunting.
There is definitely a ghost somewhere in this house.
All this and more coming up on The Pulse.